I want to show you how I take care of poopy diapers, poopy cloth diapers. There are these things, they are called liners, disposable liners. They look like toilet paper but very thick. These ones are very cheap. They are from a brand from a German brand that you can find at DM. If you're in Germany, you know what I mean. But they are not very big, so they are regular sized, so they would take basically the whole diaper. But I use pocket diaper, so this is a pocket diaper, and I like to stuff my liners inside, and I will explain you why later. So I always use two from this brand, and then I have another brand I just bought that is a bit more expensive, but it is longer. So these liners, what you do is, let's say you have a poopy diaper, so you just take out the diaper from the kid. Immediately what I do is I have the legs up, right? And I take out the diaper immediately from the bottom and I put it aside. And I don't care about the diaper. I first take care of the kid and all that. Clean him up, put a new diaper and all that. And then after he's ready, I take care of the diaper. So I have the diaper folded like this, as you can imagine, with all the poop inside. And what I do is I would just grab the diaper. So I would bring this to the toilet. I open the toilet cover, and then I just do like this inside. So on top of the toilet, so to say. And most of the times the poop just falls out like that. And this is actually a used diaper, so my son used it for a while, but now he's potty training, so he didn't actually pee, so it's not dirty, but that's why it's ripped here. And that's why I don't like this brand so much. But anyway, what I would do is I would just do like this, and this doesn't rip completely usually. Sometimes it does. But in any case, when I do like this, the poop just falls down. Sometimes if the poop is very like moisty liquid, the poop will not fall down completely. So in that case, what I will do is I will just, so I have one free hand, which I don't have now because I'm holding the camera, but I would just, with the other hand, so I have molding with one hand here, and with the other hand I would just take this out, and the whole thing just goes in the toilet. And like this, you don't have much to clean afterwards. So after this is out, after this went in the toilet, and you're holding the diaper like this, there's still some poop here usually, because my son has very liquid poop. So what I do is, and bear in mind I'm still in the toilet, right? So I have like this, and then with the other hand, which I don't have free knife now because I'm holding the camera, so but while I'm holding with one hand the diaper like this, with the other hand I'm pushing this part like this, so that the diaper stays like this basically. And then you don't have to keep it like this because there's pee inside and everything. So it just, when you do it once, it will just stay like that. So then you're holding it like this. And with toilet paper, I just grab some toilet paper and I don't really touch the poop, I just have the toilet paper, and then I wipe the diaper, the bigger parts of poop down to the toilet. So I have it like this, and then toilet paper, and I don't really touch anything. And then there will be just stains of poop, but sometimes there's a little bit of poop, but most of the poop will go down. And I mean, you would also wipe your kid's butt, right? So it's basically the same, probably even less poop involved, because I don't touch anything. And then what I do is, while I'm holding this also with one hand, with the other hand, I will snap these ones to make sure that I don't have to do anything afterwards. And I push the insert out. So I hold with one hand here this part, and with the other hand I can just push the insert out. And then when the insert is out, and you just put here with my ankle. When the insert is out, I cannot do it now with one hand, sorry. So when the insert is out, I just put the insert on top. Again, I will not touch anything that is wet, because the insert is never wet here and it's never wet here. So when I take it out, I just take it and put it like this on top of the diaper, so I didn't touch any poop, any pee. And then I fold this like this again, and I just bring it and I put it here. I have here a wet bag. Well, actually I don't have one at the moment. I have here. These are very good wet bags, by the way. They are from a brand called Kanga Care, and the advantage of these wet bags is that they are not flat, so they look more like a backpack. So they are round in the bottom, and they make I don't have one here full for you to see, but basically you can fit a lot inside, a lot more. So it's very good for laundry bag. So I would put the diapers here exactly like that, so I wouldn't do anything else. I would just do it like this and put it straight like this, because then the when it's washing in the machine, it, because the other one was right here, right, so it will just leave the diaper, you don't need to do anything. So I just put it here, and then when it's daytime, wash day, which usually wash my diapers every 2 days more or less. What I have to do is just, you open the zipper. By the way, when this is inside here and with the zipper closed, you don't smell absolutely anything. Even with poopy diapers, peed diapers, you don't smell absolutely anything. Even if you leave it for like 3 days, you don't really smell anything. And then on wash day, you just open the zipper, you go to the washing machine, and you put the whole thing inside the washing machine, and then you hold the bottom and you just do like this, and everything will fall inside the machine, and then you just leave this also inside the machine, and then you wash it. And I typically wash mine like 60 degrees always. And these bags, by the way, you can wash them at 60 degrees, because many times most of pool brands, they don't allow 60 degrees, but this one does. So you can wash it at 60 degrees. And also these inserts, these ones I don't rewash them, because as I said, they just break in the middle, which is not useful for me. But the bigger ones, which I just have here, a new package I can show you. This is also a German brand. Wait, sorry. So this is a German brand, and this one is it's called Mine Ultra, and this one is 38 centimeters long, and this one here is only 28 centimeters long from DM. So this one, as I said, in order for me to do this, I actually have to use two, and so I cannot reuse them, because as you can see already here I'm still going to reuse them, but as I couldn't wash them because they would just rip apart. But these ones here, I can wash them. You can wash them. So as long as there's no poop, if there's poop, I throw them away. Yeah, that's the advantage. As I said, you just do like this, right? And all the thing goes in the toilet. But if there's only pee, you actually can just hold it here and take it out, because again, this is just pee. You don't touch any pee also. You're just touching here. And then you can put it also in the wet bag. And you can wash it and reuse it, as long as it's not pee. So it's actually, you do save money in the environment also. So it's something very useful. And yeah, this, by the way, are my pocket diapers, and I fill them up with basically what I have at hand. So I have here, this is currently here I have one flat made of cotton, which is just one of those burp cloths, and then I have what they call an insert, which I can show you. It looks like this. So they call an insert because they are exactly the size of the diaper, so to say. And they are basically very many layers of fabric all put together. This is 5 layers of bamboos all sewed together. But this is just the receiving blanket. The receiving blanket. I also use receiving blankets, by the way. I use everything. Everything I have at hand, I use. Some things work better than others. That's why you can combine them. For instance, this is a really good combination. It holds a lot of pee. So yeah, this is what I have. Typically, you would put actually the cotton on top of the bamboos, because the bamboos absorbs a lot, but it takes a long time to absorb. So there are basically different types of fabric. And this is this burp cloth. This is just a burp cloth. As you can see, this is just cotton, and cotton absorbs better than bamboos. So you would theoretically, like usually, you would put this on top of the bamboos, because the bamboos absorbs a lot, but it takes a long time to absorb. So this would absorb fast, and then it would slowly go into the bamboos. I do it the other way around because I'm potty training, so I want my son to feel wet. And by the way, these pocket diapers, this is a pocket diaper. There are also different types of cloth diapers. And the pocket diapers, this top layer, they are what they call a stay dry effect. So after the kid pees, I don't know, after a few seconds, it no longer feels wet. like my husband, for instance, when he changes the diaper, he often doesn't know if the diaper was used or not, if the diaper was used, if he peed on it or not, because it really feels very, very dry, and that's not what I want at all. And that's also one of the advantages of using these liners, these disposable liners, because the disposable liners, they will get wet because they are like paper, so it will feel wet for a longer time. And one thing you can also do if you're potty training is, instead of putting either you can use a different type of diaper. So instead of using pocket diapers, you can use, for instance, covers, which are basically the same as a pocket diaper, but instead of putting the things inside here, you just put them on top, and they have a little cover here, usually sometimes, that can fit, where you can fit these, or you just fit them really on top. But also with the pocket diaper, you can do the same. So look at what I'm doing. You can also just do like this. So I could also theoretically do this, and this would make him feel wetter. The reason I don't do this is because my son is taking his diapers by himself, because it's, again, potty training. So I don't want him to take out the diaper and this all falls on the floor, right? So this is why for potty training, pocket diapers, I find them really good, because you can just keep everything inside. When he takes it out, it's just basically like underwear. Also, if you don't want your kid to take out the diaper, instead of using Velcro, you can use with snaps. So it's basically, see, these are snaps. There are some diapers that instead of having a Velcro here to close, they also have snaps to close. And that's good if you don't want your kid to open the diaper. I want my kid to open the diaper because, again, I'm potty training. So that's why I have this type of diapers. The only thing that is not ideal is when he poops. It's not so good if he takes out the diaper by himself. Fortunately, until now, I always manage to get, because I'm at home with him, so I also am very aware of when he pees and poops, more or less, especially when he poops, because it smells, right? So I always come and change him, because if you would take out the diaper with poop inside, I think there's nothing that would really save your floor from getting poop all over. But still, I think this is the best solution. And my kid is potty training, and we have tried also normal training pants, because there are training pants, which basically what they are is, they would be like a pocket diaper that is closed on the sides, so that the kid just pulls them up and down. And that doesn't work for us, because my son is not very good yet at pulling and pushing his clothes down. He's still learning how to take off his clothes. He can do it, but not very good. Whereas Velcro, we can do that since he was 1 year old. He can take out the Velcro. So that's very easy. Again, if that's not something you want, you should choose for shoe snaps, because they do learn how to take out the Velcro very, very soon. I think my son could do it already when he was maybe like 10 months or something. So, and another reason why I didn't like the training pants is because they have no absorbency. So here you are very flexible. You can decide how much absorbency you want. So if I want a lot of absorbency, I can put, for instance, these inserts. I can put 3 inserts of these even. I can do that. Or look at this. Some diapers I have here, they are huge, because some are thinner, because it depends on what you put. So for instance, receiving blankets, they are very, very good for absorption. And then you don't have to worry if he pees the floor, like even if you're doing other things, you don't have to. Whereas with training pants, I would say they are more for those kids that already go to the toilet by themselves, and sometimes they still pee on the way to the toilet, just a few drops. There are some training pants I don't have here at the moment, but from a brand called Rumperus. It's actually the same brand as this bag, actually. So it's Rumperus, it belongs to this Kanga Care. And this brand, they have this training pant that absorbs 1 full pee, so which is okay, but the elastic on the thumb is very, very tight, so it's also not, I didn't really like it. And with this type of diapers, these pocket diapers, they are perfect for potty training, I think, in my opinion. Also because they are so cute, there's many different drawings and things like that. So my son loves to choose them. I always have them here so he can choose. And they can be very expensive, but they can also be very cheap. For instance, this is a brand. It's a Chinese brand. It's called Littles and Bloomz, and I got this off Amazon. and I bought 60, no, sorry, I bought 12 of them for 60 euros. And without the inserts. The inserts they have are not very good, by the way. I would recommend you just buy the diapers and then just check what you have at home, because you probably have already many things. You know those IKEA washcloths? Let me see if I have any here. This is my drawer. Yeah, this one's here. These washcloths from IKEA. I use this, I put 3 of them together, sometimes 4. You just fold them in half, and they are a good size. They are a bit smaller than the diaper, but for instance, if you have a boy, you just really need it more in the front, because that's where he pees. So it's okay when in the back there's nothing, unless he's sleeping, of course. But we don't use it at the moment for sleeping, because we are just potty training during the day. So if you use several of these, like 2 or 3 together, you can also use this, or you can use a hand towel, or you're potty training, so you don't really want to have like a lot of absorption, and you don't really want him to feel dry, so you don't have to worry about all these things. So your life is much easier. You just want something that absorbs enough pee that you don't have to clean the floor, basically. So that's at least what I want. And and so I would advise you to just look around the house what you have. As I said, I have this, there's receiving blankets, there's towels, and try with that. And then if you see, okay, this is not really enough for me, then you can buy these inserts, and that are actually made for cloth diapers, because the reason why they are made is because they are exactly the size, so they're already the size, And then I would recommend that you don't buy the ones from this brand, and that you really should check what are inside, because what's important is what are these layers here, and they should be made of they shouldn't be made of microfiber. So most of them, they have microfiber. Sometimes they have microfiber inside, sometimes they have microfiber outside, sometimes they are completely microfiber. And microfiber is a fabric that does not absorb anything, but it absorbs very fast. So if, let's say, for instance, if you want your kid to feel dry, some people would put, for instance, a microfiber on top, and then in the bottom hemp or bamboos, so that it absorbs very fast, and then it goes in these ones that can absorb a lot, right? So, but microfiber is like a sponge. So when you have microfiber, whenever you touch it, water will come out. So that's not really like awesome, right? And another thing with microfiber is you cannot put it directly next to a baby bottom, because it will basically absorb the moisture out of the baby's bottom, and it will cause rashes. And that's not really very good, right? So you would always need to put something on top. If you use it in a cloth diaper, in a pocket diaper, this would act like a layer, so you could theoretically put microfiber. But why would you buy microfiber? You can just buy instead either cotton, so cotton, or bamboos, or hemp. So the one that absorbs the most is hemp, afterwards is bamboos, and the one that absorbs the least is cotton, but then it's the other way around in terms of how fast they absorb it. Another thing I want to say is that I personally really love what people call these flats. I call these burp cloths. And the reason why I love this is because they make very thick diapers. See, if I make one diaper with just I think this one only has 2 inserts. I don't even remember anymore. Yeah. So you can see it's much thinner than this one, for instance. This one is very thick. But I don't really care so much about thickness, personally, because we also are at home. And yeah, if you want to wear trousers on top, then it's not very good, because then the trousers don't fit. But if you're at home and it's summer and you're just using this with nothing on top, then there's absolutely no problem with thickness, as long as it's not too thick. So you need to make sure that the elastic is still fitting around the crotch and everything. But yeah, it should be fine. For me, so far it was always fine. And the reason why I like this is because this dries so fast. Like, this dries as fast as these covers. They are so fast to dry. It's really, really fast, because it's such a thin fabric. Whereas these ones, for instance, in bamboo especially takes forever to dry. So this one I need to put in the machine, like in the dryer, like 2 times. By the way, many people just hang things to dry, but I put things in the dryer because I'm just lazy and I want things to be fast. So it goes straight from the washing machine to the dryer. I wash them at 60 degrees. As I said, inside, we take this from inside and just throw everything inside. And 60 degrees with a pre-wash cycle. And then afterwards, I do an extra rinse, usually. I mean, there's already times I didn't do an extra rinse, and it's also okay, but most of times. And by the way, if you use microfiber, that's another problem you have, because microfiber, because of their absorbency, because it works like a sponge, it traps things inside. So it will trap like pieces of the soap from the detergent. It will trap odors. It will trap, you know what I mean? It's very hard to keep them clean, and then it's really a lot of work over time, and they stop being so absorbent, and they are pretty crappy. I wouldn't buy microfiber at all. Um, so yeah, this basically summarizes all my diaper things. Feel free to write me if you have any questions. Another thing is like the disposable clothes, the reusable clothes. I also did it. The reusable wipes. You can also do that, but I stopped doing that. There are many videos on YouTube. You can just check it out. But basically, what you would do is you would just also wash your wipes. So you would use a fabric. There are fabrics already cut, but you can also just cut yourself some fabrics and make it yourself. And then you would put it with boiling water and some oil, like we use coconut oil, and some baby wash, and then you would put it in a clothes dispenser, like something like this. But there are some wipes dispenser, I mean, but there are some that are made of plastic, and you can just reuse them, or made of silicone, and yeah, and we did that. But you have to actually change that every 2 days, because they start smelling, because you don't have preservatives in it. And if you don't have preservatives, except for the preservatives that are already in the baby wash, in that baby shower gel, then what's going to happen is you're going to have like stinky wipes that go in your baby's face, because we also use wipes for his face. And I just didn't want it. Or maybe I did something wrong. There are many people who do it properly and without any problem, but that just didn't work for us. Yeah, so our setting is, we have here, so here is where I keep my extras, and here we have disposables, because we still use disposables at night and outside of the house. And the reason for that is because my son is able to take out his diapers, and another one is because cloth diapers, they don't, in my opinion, they don't take as much pee as reusable diapers. So there are people who manage to have, for instance, a cloth diaper all night without leaks and without any problems. And especially if you use what they call fitted diapers, which are basically, imagine, you can also make a fitted diaper out of this, which are those old school type of thing, which, yeah, goes all around. So it's a whole thing around the baby. There are some that are already made, which are called the fitted diapers, or you can make this one yourself and just put a little snap. And then you would put something waterproof around it. So very similar to what was used in the old days. And some people use that very without any problems at night. But because again, I'm using this mostly for potty training. That's my purpose now, and my son is still not potty training at night. I just use disposables at night, and also when we leave the house, because I just don't want to have any accidents on the way. And here, yeah, we have the wipes, because, yeah, it just didn't work for us. Yeah. Well, I hope I explained everything. Probably afterwards I'll be like, oh, I should have said this. Here is our diaper pail, which we use only for the disposable things, for so garbage. There are also, if you do everything reusable, including the wipes, you could. There are also these wet bags that instead of being, so they are even bigger than this one is already pretty big. You can hold here at least like 10 diapers maybe. But there are bigger ones that are actually the size of a diaper pail, and you would put them the same way that you put the garbage bag. So instead of putting that garbage bag there, by the way, I love this diaper pail because it's all made of metal. I used to have one made of plastic. It was always smelly, and this one made of stainless steel. It just never smells. It's great, and you can use whatever bags you have at hand. So instead of, you can see here where I have my bag, instead of having a plastic bag, you would just put the wet bag, and then you would just use it normally and throw things inside and whatever, and then afterwards you would take everything out and do the same thing. So it's already open, you just put it inside the machine, shake it so that things fall inside the machine, throw the bag inside, and everything would wash together. There are also some that are for 40 degrees. I think that's important, that you can wash it at 40 degrees. Another thing also that I wanted to say is I use these very cheap diapers because I didn't see any reason why not to. As I said, I paid for 12 of them 60 euros without the inserts. The inserts were almost, so 12 of these bamboo inserts were almost the same price as the 12 diapers because they are so good. So these are 5 layers of bamboos, nothing else. So they absorb a lot. But anyway, there are also these more expensive diapers that you would pay about maybe like 30 euros per diaper. And those diapers, they have the advantage that instead of having just one opening, they have actually 2 openings. So one here and one here. So the advantage of that is you don't need to take out the insert when you want to wash. So you would do the same thing. You just bring it to the toilet, right? Do like this. And then you would just snap the Velcro and then close it like this and put it directly in the bag. You would not have that extra step of having to take out the insert and put it here. But again, this is really not so much work to take out the insert, and you will not touch any pee because the pit part is more like in the middle, like here, middle front in case of my boy, because I have a boy, so it's more like this is the middle, the pit part, and the poop part is more or less like here, I would say. So really the middle of the diaper. So this part here and this part here is always clean. Even when he has like a huge poop explosion or when he pees a lot. Never had to touch any pee or poop, except when I'm actually cleaning his butt, which sometimes happens, right? Because he's very squirmy and moves a lot. But yeah, I think this is a great system. I was worried when I started when I started checking about cloth diapers, all about this cleaning process, because there are a lot of people that they use this what is called a diaper spray, which is basically like a nozzle that you fix to your toilet, and it basically sprays water to this. So it's just, yeah, you can check some videos on the internet, and that just sounded really a lot to me. Like then you have to clean that it sprays everywhere, and I don't know. I wanted it to be fast and simple, and I think that this method with the liner is so easy, especially if you use this trick of fixing it here. The only thing that you have to take into consideration when you're putting the diaper on the baby, you have to be careful that after you put the diaper, so let's say you put the diaper on the baby, sometimes, especially because of the liner, sometimes this will, so let's say this is the back of the baby, and you will see like a little white here. That's not good. You have to always make sure that this is covering. So you just tuck this inside like this, and as long as you don't see any white, everything is colorful, then you're good to go, because it won't wet the baby clothes. Otherwise it might leak to so this is soaked with wet, right? It might go in the clothes, and then you have wet clothes. The other thing you have to take into consideration is that you put these cloth diapers in a different way that you put the disposables. So when you put the disposable, just take out your disposable. When you put the disposable, because they are also thinner, see, they are thinner than it is a cloth diaper. So when you put a disposable, you just don't really have to worry much. I mean, when they are a newborn, you might do like this after you put it to make sure that this is tucked properly. But I mean, I never really had to worry much about disposables. Just put it and that's it. With this one, you have to have a little bit more care. So when you're putting it, the first thing you have to do is you have to push the baby's leg like this, and then to make sure that this part here is really in the crotch, you know, because as soon as the baby lies down, this tends to go like on the leg. So let's say here would be the crotch, and this part of the elastic would be actually on the leg because they have chunky legs, right? Even though my son is actually pretty slim, but still, you don't go straight to the crotch. But if you push the leg up and you open the legs like a frog, then this will adjust and go up. And immediately this part here will also go more up then, you know? Because before maybe you were only able to close it like this, but after you do this, then you're able to close it like that, and the diaper will be much more snug, and there will be no leaks. Otherwise, it will happen that there might be leaks here. So those are the only two things you have to worry about when you are cloth diapering, I would say. Other than that, I would say this is very, very similar to using disposables. And if I had a second kid, I would start this much earlier, because I only started this when my son was 2 years old. And actually, already last year he could open the Velcro. Already last year he was starting to walk, last summer I mean. And immediately this year, as soon as I started using these diapers, really the day I started, he immediately started sitting in the potty, because he feels wet and he doesn't want to have this. So he takes off the diaper and he sits in the potty. And so I strongly advise you to use cloth diapers instead of training pants to potty train a kid. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them.